Spoštovani gospod veleposlanik Češke republike Jiří Kudela, esteemed ambassador of the Czech Republic to the Republic of Slovenia, Your Excellency Jiří Kudela. Spoštovani gospod veleposlanik Grčije Argyros Makris, esteemed ambassador of Greece to the Republic of Slovenia, Your Excellency Argyros Makris. Spoštovani gospod veleposlanik Albanije Oljan Kanuši, esteemed ambassador of the Republic of Albania to the Republic of Slovenia, Your Excellency Oljan Kanuši. Spoštovani konzul Zvezne republike Nemčije Thomas Weckert, esteemed consul of the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany to the Republic of Slovenia, Mr. Thomas Weckert. Spoštovani direktor Centra judovske kulturne dediščine Sinagoga Maribor, gospod Boris Hajdenjak. Spoštovana podžupanja občine Pivka, gospa Majda Godina. Spoštovana direktorica Zavoda za turizem Pivka, gospa Jana Gržinič. Cenjeni obiskovalci, lepo pozdravljeni na odprtju gostujočih razstav, risbe in slike umetnikov v Terezinu iz zbirke v Morešetu, spominskega centra Morešet in Terezijenštat kot da mesto, Centra judovske kulturne dediščine Sinagoga Maribor. Welcome to the opening of the two guest exhibitions, drawings and paintings by artists of Terezin from the collection of the Moreshet Memorial Center, and Terezijenštat, a town as if, by the Center of Jewish Cultural Heritage Synagogue Maribor. Ob mednarodnem dnevu spomina na žrtve holokausta, ko je bilo pred 81 leti osvobojeno nacistično koncentracijsko taborišče Auschwitz, se spominjamo grozodejstev, ki so vzela na milijone življenj, in opominjamo, da se kaj podobnega ne sme več zgoditi. Prenos zgodovinskih izkušenj ter vrednot prihodnjim generacijam je ena temeljnih nalog muzejev in s tem tudi Parka vojaške zgodovine, zato k pozdravnemu nagovoru vabim direktorja magistra Janka Boštjančiča. On the occasion of the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, marking the 81st anniversary of the liberation of the Nazi concentration camp Auschwitz, we remember the atrocities that claimed millions of lives and reaffirm that such horrors must never happen again. Passing on historical experiences and values to future generations is one of the fundamental tasks of museums, and therefore also of the Park of Military History. For this reason, I invite the director, Mr. Janko Boštjančič, to deliver the opening address.
Excellencies, cenjeni visoki gostje, dear esteemed guests, dragi prijatelji in sodelavci, dear friends and colleagues, lepo pozdravljeni na današnjem odprtju kar dveh razstav posvečenih spominu na holokaust. Z odprtjem razstav se v parku, tako kot že vrsto let, pridružujemo obeleževanju dneva spomina na žrtve holokausta. Welcome to today's opening of two guest exhibitions dedicated to the memory of the Holocaust. With the opening of this exhibition, we are joining in the commemoration of Holocaust Remembrance Day at the Park of Military History, as we have done for many years. Poslanstvo muzeja je ohranjanje dediščine, ohranjanje spomina v materialni in nematerialni obliki. Poslanstvo vojaškega muzeja je pač ohranjanje spomina na vojno dogajanje, posamezne vojne in bitke, junaštvo vojakov in sposobnosti njihovih poveljnikov. Brez dvoma je to nujno in pohvale vredno. Prepričan sem, da je ob današnjem rožljanju z orožjem, stopnjevanjem mednarodnih in družbenih napetosti širom sveta ter podiranjem demokratičnih standardov ne samo poslanstvo, ampak dolžnost muzeja, da opozarja na to, kaj vojne in podivjane ideologije prinašajo. Na neizmerno trpljenje ne samo vojakov na bojiščih, ampak tudi povsem nedolžnih prebivalcev, staršev, žena, otrok. Razstavi, ki jih bomo danes odprli, sta dobra priložnost, da obudimo spomin na to. Zato se v imenu Parka vojaške zgodovine iskreno zahvaljujem ekscelenci Jiržiju Kudeli za pobudo za gostovanje razstave, osebju češkega veleposlaništva, gospodu Borisu Hajdenjaku in Sinagogi Maribor ter vsem drugim, ki so pripomogli gostovanju. Naj ne bo pozabljeno. The purpose of museums is to preserve heritage and memory in both tangible and intangible form. By extension, the mission of military museums is to preserve the memory of war events, individual wars and battles, the heroism of soldiers, and the abilities of their commanders. This is without a doubt necessary and commendable. However, I'm certain that given the current saber-rattling, escalating international and social tensions around the world and the undermining of democratic standards, it is not only the mission but also the duty of museums to remind us of what war and violent ideologies bring, the immeasurable suffering not only of soldiers on the battlefield, but also of completely innocent civilians, the elderly, women and children. The exhibitions we are opening today are a good opportunity to remind us of just that. On behalf of the Park of Military History, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to His Excellency Jerzy Kudela for his initiative for us to host the two exhibitions. I would also like to thank the staff of the Embassy of the Czech Republic. Thanks to Mr. Boris Hajdiniak and the Synagoga Maribor, as well as everyone else who contributed to making today's event possible. Let us never forget. Thank you.
Mesto Terezin na Češkem, ki ga je ob koncu 19. stoletja dal zgraditi cesar Jožef II. Kot vojaško utrdbo in jo poimenoval po svoji materi, Terezienstadt, je v 20. stoletju zaznamovala burna zgodovina. Utrdba je pozneje postala zapor in prav tam je leta 1918 umrl Gavrilo Princip, atentator, ki je junija 1914 sprožil usodni strel, ki je zanetil požar vojn in nasilja 20. stoletja. Med drugo svetovno vojno pa je Terezin postal nacistični geto, kamor so med drugim zaprli več kot 100.000 Judov. O zgodovinskem pomenu tega kraja nas bo nagovoril veleposlanik Češke republike v Sloveniji, dr. Jerzy Kudela, ki je zgodovinar, med drugim specializiran tudi za judovsko zgodovino Češke. The town of Terezin in the Czech Republic, built at the end of the 19th century by Emperor Joseph II as a military fortress and named after his mother, Maria Theresa, Theresienstadt, had a turbulent history in the 20th century. The fortress later became a prison, and it was there that Gavrilo Princip, the assassin who fired the fatal shot in June 1914, that sparked the wars and violence of the 20th century, died in 1918. During World War II, Terezin became a Nazi ghetto, where more than 100,000 Jews were imprisoned. The historical significance of Terezin will be highlighted by the ambassador of the Czech Republic to the Republic of Slovenia, Mr. Jerzy Kudela, who also specializes in the Jewish history of the Czech Republic. Your Excellency, please.
Lepo pozdravljeni vsi skupaj. Zelo sem vesel, da ste razstavi prispeli v Pivko. Še posebej me veseli, da se to dogaja prav v času, ko obeležujemo Svetovni dan spomina na žrtve holokausta. Hvala. Warm greetings to everyone. I'm very pleased that both exhibitions have arrived in Pivka. I'm especially glad that this is taking place at a time when we commemorate the International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Thank you. Najprej bi se rad iskreno zahvalil Borisu Hajdinjaku, direktorju Centra Judovske kulturne dediščine Synagoga Maribor in izvrstnemu zgodovinarju, ki je razstavi pripravil. Zlasti občudujem njegovo sposobnost, da obiskovalcem predstavi fenomen Terezina kot boleč simbol sprevržene politike holokausta, pa tudi njegovo izjemno natančnost pri iskanju povezav med usodami Judov v današnji Sloveniji in Terezinom. Gospod Hajdinjak vam bo povedal veliko več o celotnem projektu in to zagotovo veliko bolje, kot bi to lahko storil jaz. First and foremost, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Boris Hajdinjak, director of the Center of Jewish Cultural Heritage, Synagogue Maribor, and an outstanding historian who prepared these exhibitions. I particularly admire his ability to present the phenomenon of Terezin to visitors as a painful symbol of the monstrous policy of the Holocaust, as well as his extraordinary precision in finding connections between the fates of Jews in present-day Slovenia and Terezin. Mr. Hajdinjak will tell you much more about the entire project, and certainly much better than I could. Zahvaljujem se tudi direktorju Pivke, gospodu Boštjančiću, parku vojaške zgodovine Pivka, gospodu Boštjančiću, ker je omogočil prostor za ti razstavi in njegovim sodelavnicama, sodelavkama. To je še en primer tradicionalno odličnega sodelovanja med češkim veleposlaništvom in muzejem Pivki. Iskrena hvala, Janko. I would also like to thank the director of Museum of Pivka, Mr. Boštjančić, for providing the venue for these exhibitions. This is another example of the traditional excellent cooperation between the Czech embassy and the museum in Pivka. Many thanks, Janka. Kot zgodovinar in kot nekdo, ki je deloval v različnih ustanovah na Češkem, ki so se ukvarjale s popravo krivic preteklosti, to je bio Češko-Nemški sklad prihodnosti, ustanova za pomoć žrtvam holokausta i tako dalje, sam imao sreću spoznati številne izjemne ljudi, ki so sodelovali v odporu, doživjeli nacistični teror in koncentracijska taborišča, mnogi med njimi so smrti ušli le za las. Spoznal sem tudi številne preživele holokausta, ki so prestali Terezín, Auschwitz in druga koncentracijska taborišča ter izkusili vse grozote iz tega časa. Nekateri so pripadali obema skupinama. As a historian and as someone who has worked in various institutions in the Czech Republic dedicated to addressing injustice of the past, for example, the Czech-German Future Fund and the Endowment Fund for Holocaust Victims, I have had the privilege of meeting many remarkable individuals, people who took part in the resistance, experienced Nazi terror and concentration camps. Many of them barely escaped death. I also met many Holocaust survivors who had been through Terezín, Auschwitz and other concentration camps and experienced all the horrors of the time. Some belonged to both groups. Vsi ti ljudje, s katerimi sem se pogovarjal in ki jih večina danes žal ni več med nami, so o preteklosti in svojem trpljenju govorili na objektiven način, z distance, brez sovraštva ali grenkosti. Imeli so le eno željo, da se to ne pozabi in da se nikoli več ne ponovi. Tudi mi se tega želimo. Prepričan sem, da je boj proti pozabljenju in izkrivljanju zgodovine še vedno zelo pomemben, še posebej danes, ko antisemitizem in splošno sovraštvo do drugih, pogosto skrito za različnimi ideološkimi in političnimi stališči, v naši lepi Evropi ponovno narašča. Temu se moramo odločno upreti in tudi s to razstavo se upiramo pozabi. All these people I spoke to, most of whom are sadly no longer with us today, spoke about the past and their suffering in an objective manner, from a distance without hatred or bitterness. They had only one wish, that it should never be forgotten and that it should never happen again. We shared that wish. I am convinced that the fight against forgetting and distorting history is still very important, especially today when anti-Semitism and sometimes so-called anti-Israelism and general hatred towards others, often hidden behind various ideological and political positions, is on the rise once again in our beautiful Europe, as well in my country. We must stand firmly against this, and with this exhibition we are also taking a stand against forgetting. Terezín nebyl kraj trpění, temveč tudi kraj izjemné člověšké odpornosti in ustvarjalnosti. Kljub nepredstavljivim razmeram so tam nastajala umetniška dela, ki danes predstavljajo neprecenljivo pričevanje o resničnosti holokausta. A ne samo risbe, ale i glazba i tako dalje. Svojim delima nam umetniki pomagajo razumeti ne le grozote tistega časa, temveč tudi moč umetnosti kot sredstva preživetja in odpora. Čeprav je od osvoboditve Terezína, koje je bilo već spomenuto, Auschwitza in številnih drugih taborišč smrti minilo že več kot 80 let, ostajajo njihove slike in risbe i glazba, neprecenljiv zgodovinski dokument ter opomin na odgovornost, ki jo imamo danes, ohranjati spomin in se prizadevati za svet, v katerem se takšne grozote ne bodo nikoli več ponovile. Le s kolektivnim spominom in ozaveščanjem lahko preprečimo ponavljanje zgodovine. Terezín was not only a place of suffering, but also a place of incredible human resilience and creativity. Despite unimaginable conditions, artists created works that today stand as invaluable testimonies to the reality of Holocaust. Their works help us understand not only the horrors of that time, but also the power of art as a means of survival and resistance, not only in pictures, but as well in music and so on. Although more than 80 years have passed since the liberation of Terezín, Auschwitz, and dozens of other death camps, these paintings and drawings remain an invaluable historical record and a reminder of our responsibility today to preserve memory and to strive for a world in which such horrors will never be repeated. Only through collective memory and awareness can we prevent history from repeating itself. Puno vám chvála. Thank you very much.
razstavi, ki jo ugostimo, se medsebojno dopolnjujeta. Razstava risbe in slike umetnikov v Terezinu iz zbirke v Morešetu namreč ponuja izostren pogled v krutost vsakdana v tranzitnem taborišču skozi likovna dela 3 internirancev. Razstava Theresienstadt kot da mesto pa osvetljuje širši kontekst tega tako imenovanega vzorčnega geta. Avtorja slednje, gospoda Hajdinjaka, prosim za nekaj uvodnih besed. The two exhibitions we are hosting complement each other. The exhibition, Drawings and Paintings by Artists in Terezin from the collection in Moreshet, offers a poignant insight into the harsh realities of everyday life in the transit camp through the artworks of 3 internees, while the exhibition Theresienstadt, A Town as If, sheds light on the broader context of the so-called model ghetto. I would now like to invite the author of the latter exhibition, Mr. Hajdinjak, to offer a few introductory remarks.
Spoštovane ekscelence, visoki gostje, dragi vsi. Theresienstadt, Terezin po češko, ni samo zelo pomembna točka zgodovine Češke. Sam geto Theresienstadt je seveda bil geto za mnogo več ljudi kot samo češke Jude. Nekaj malega tudi celo iz Slovenije. Nič ne bom pretiraval, če rečem, da je Theresienstadt bil poleg Auschwitza, varšavskega geta, 3. najbolj očitno mesto dogajanja holokausta v Evropi med 2. svetovno vojno. En izmed argumentov je to, kar tudi vidite zdaj v ozadju. Namreč nacisti so med 2. svetovno vojno, torej v času delovanja Theresienstadta, celo 3 filme posneli, s katerimi so hoteli seveda prikazati domnevno resničnost. Ampak že ti 3 filmi sami po sebi, kakorkoli so že izjemni, ne? Če jih dobro pogledamo, najdemo takoj v njih veliko detajlov, ki nam govorijo o grozljivi realnosti tega kraja. Med drugim, ko so bili tisti otroški zbor, ki boje, ti otroci, ki so zvali v otroške opere Brundibar, so približno 14 dni potem, ko je to bilo posneto, videli na Auschwitz in le redki so preživeli. Dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear all, Theresienstadt is not, or Czech Terezin, is not only a very important historical place for the Czech Republic. The ghetto, the transit camp of Theresienstadt during the Second World War was also a ghetto and transit camp for many more Jews, not for the just Czech Jews, which were, of course, the majority. At least there were some Jews also from Slovenia. So there would not be wrong to say that with the Auschwitz and the Warsaw Ghetto, the Theresienstadt Ghetto is the 3rd most important place of the understanding and to commemorate what Holocaust really was. One of the reasons for this is 3 films which were made by the Nazis during the wartime in Theresienstadt. Of course, the 3 films which you see in a moment, of course, the 3 films were produced to show not real state of life in Theresienstadt, but it is possible to see even from these films the cruel reality. Like you will see the children who sang in the children opera Brundibar, and almost all children which you see on that part of the film was sent some weeks later to Auschwitz, and very few of them survived. Zdaj, do nastanka teh 2 razstav ni nastalo slučajno. Nekaj let nazaj je bilo zasedanje IHRE, AERA, po angleško, v Pragi, glavnem mesto Češke, in seveda tudi v tem okviru, logično, ker je Theresienstadt v neposredni bližini Prage, je del aktivnosti potekalo tudi tam. Takratna slovenska veleposlanica pri IRI, gospa Blanka Mišek, je to razstavo iz Morešeta, spravi teh neprecenljivih umetniških del, videla v Theresienstadtu, v muzeju, in je potem Sinagogi Maribor predlagala, da bi to razstavo iz Theresienstadta, sicer slik iz Izraela, pripeljali v Slovenijo. Ker je torej originalna razstava stala originalno, v Theresienstadtu ni bilo potrebno razlagati, kaj je Theresienstadt. Ko pa smo se torej mi odločili, da to uresničimo, smo potem seveda morali za te pravzaprav zgodovinske velika zelo redko besedni razstavi dati zgodovinski kontekst. In to sta nastali pravzaprav dve razstavi. Torej, ta druga razstava je samostojno delo sinagoge Maribor, ki ga pa seveda ne bi bilo brez pomoči številnih institucij, med drugim tudi lahko opazite Deutsche Bundesarchiv, ki je ključni film prispeval, in pa predvsem seveda ustanovan v Češki, najbolj seveda muzej v Terezinu, če se ne bi bilo seveda brez stranske pomoči ambasadora gospoda doktora Jeržija Kudele, ki je seveda še marsika drugega in upamo, da še bo kaj drugega za to razstavo pomagal in naredil. So the beginning of the two exhibitions was when some years ago there was a meeting of IRA in Prague. And of course, because Terezin is not very far away from Prague, part of the activities was also in Museum of Terezin. That time, ambassador of Slovenia to IRA, Mrs. Blanka Nišek, saw this exhibition, the first part of the exhibition, which is made by the one small but quite important institution in Israel, Morashet, which is also just about the works of art of three artists who were in Theresienstadt. She said to Synagoga Maribor that it would be a good idea to have that exhibition also in Slovenia. But because there was original exhibition was in Theresienstadt, there was no need to explain what Theresienstadt actually was. So when in 2024, when we decided to prepare this Israeli exhibition, we must complement it with at least some small things about what Theresienstadt was. So this is the second exhibition, which is called one of the best-known songs written in Theresienstadt, City as If. It was not actually city, it was City as If. Anyway, that exhibition was not be possible without cooperation of many institutions, like Deutsches Bundesarchiv, which sent us original copies of original films made after the Second War in Theresienstadt, and especially some institutions, especially the most important Terezin Museum, it was not possible without great help of Ambassador of Czech Republic, Dr. Jerzy Kudela, who is also who is make a lot of other things, and we hope in future some other things also. Za ustanovo, kot je Sinagoga Maribor, najmanjša javno kulturno ustanovo v Sloveniji, je conditio sine qua non sodelovanje. Tako da smo izjemno veseli, da danes ta razstava gostuje v tako veliki in pomembni ustanovi, kot je Park vojaške zgodovine v Pivki. Ni sicer prvo gostovanje in na srečo, čeprav smo tako majhni, vedno znova in znova najdemo partnerje. Upamo, da seveda bo morda še koga spodbudila, da bo še morda tam razstava kam šla. Vsekakor pa seveda tu na tem mestu tako je tudi zahvala direktoru Boštjančiču, v upanju seveda še kakšne druge priložnosti sodelovanja nadgradimo in nadaljujemo. So, for the smallest public cultural institution, as Synagoga is in Slovenia, is conditio sine qua non cooperation. So we are very grateful that we always have some partners. So this is also the reason why that hosting of exhibition here in Pivka is not the first. There was three institutions before, Posavski muzej Brežice, Galerija Muzej Lendava, and ZRC Sazu. And we are very grateful to director Boštjančič, who accepted the hosting of this exhibition, and we're hoping this is not the last thing, and many in cooperation with Park vojaške zgodovine Pivka, and we are very looking forward for future cooperation. Dovolite mi, da na koncu še dodam osebno željo. V teh dneh sem bil sicer večkrat vprašan za različne medije, kako bi najbolj kratko povzel pomen 27. januarja spominjanja na žrtve holokausta. Mogoče ni najbolj posrečeno, ampak se zdi, da najbolj efektno, ker je kratko, kar sem povedal včeraj v intervju, me je čisto preletelo, da se mi zdi glavni pomen, torej spominjanje na žrtve na holokaust, spoštovanje do te žrtve. Jaz kot zgodovinar se globoko zavedam, da ta Evropa, ki je nastala po drugi svetovni vojni, ni idealna, bila in ni, ampak je mnogo boljša kot tista Evropa, ki je bila pred drugo svetovno vojno. Mislim, da je vzrok za to zelo velik tudi to, da je bilo torej tako veliko število žrtev v drugi svetovni vojni, ne samo holokaust, ampak holokaust kot najbolj očitno. In politiki tistega časa povojnega, do nedavno, so zmogli ta napor, da te žrtve so seveda spoštovali in jih niso izdali. Verjamem, da je to močna beseda. Bojim se, da če se bo tako nadaljevali, se seveda te žrtve mogoče bomo še vedno spominjali, ampak jih bomo izdali. Njihova dediščina bo spoštovana. So let me, on the end of my speech, add some personal wish. I was interviewed in the last days, not very many times, but sometimes. And yesterday, when I asked what is the importance of the Day of Memory of the Victims of the Holocaust, I said that, as far as I understand, the most important thing is to commemorate the victims of the Second World War, not just victims of the Holocaust, but victims of the Holocaust especially. Why? I strongly believe that Europe, which was after the Second World War, was better than Europe, which was before the Second World War. And the leaders of that time and leaders until some years before were able to maintain that legacy and didn't betray the victims of the Second World War, and especially victims of the Holocaust. I'm afraid that if we'll go in that directions, which are, we don't know, we will betray the victims of the Second World War and especially the victims of the Holocaust. Hvala. V nadaljevanju seveda po otvoritvi razstave še podrobneje razlagam. Thank you. And after the official opening of the exhibition, there will be much more about the exhibition. Thank you.
Pred samim odprtjem obeh gostujočih razstav, ki bo potekalo nadstropje višje, mi dovolite izreči še nekaj zahvale. Najlepša hvala Centru judovske kulturne dediščine Sinagoga Maribor in Spominskemu centru Morešec za pripravo obeh razstav. Seveda pa je na mestu tudi zahvala direktorju Sinagoge Maribor, gospodu Hajdinjaku, za še en prispevek k ohranjanju zgodovinskega spomina na žrtve holokausta. Posebna hvala gospodu veleposlaniku za pobudo, nagovor in odprtje obeh gostujočih razstav, ki bo kmalu sledilo. Prisrčna hvala mlademu glasbeniku Matevžu Šantlju, da je z odličnim nastopom obogatil današnji dogodek. Hvala tudi vsem vam, ki ste si vzeli čas za počastitev spomina na žrtve holokausta. Prijazno vas vabim v zgornje nadstropje, kjer bo še uradno odprtje obeh gostujočih razstav, ki si jo bomo ogledali v spremstvu gospoda Hajdinjaka, čemur bo sledila še manjša pogostitev v tem prostoru. Before the actual opening of both guest exhibitions, which will take place one floor above, allow me to express my gratitude. Many thanks to the Center of Jewish Cultural Heritage Synagogue Maribor and the Morešet Memorial Center for preparing both exhibitions. And of course, a special thanks to the director, Mr. Hajdinjak, for yet another contribution to the preservation of the historical memory of the victims of the Holocaust. Special thanks to the Ambassador of the Czech Republic to the Republic of Slovenia for his initiative, his speech, and the opening of both guest exhibitions, which will follow shortly. Sincere thanks to the young musician Mateusz Šantel for enriching today's event with his excellent performance. Thank you also to all of you who took the time to honor the memory of the victims of the Holocaust. I kindly invite you to the upper floor, where the official opening of both guest exhibitions will take place. We will see both of them in the company of Mr. Hajdinjak, and after the official program, you're kindly invited to a small reception in this room. Hvala. Thank you.
Hvala, poslanik, hvala, Boris.